Hello there, welcome to NTV English News Bulletin. I am Bhavana Casey. In the beginning, we have the headlines. Election-related activities take center stage across the country. Ruling coalition holding mass assembly today in Kathmandu. Ballot papers for the upcoming elections reach all election constituencies. Different ballot papers to be used for different constituencies. Ukraine claims major gains after Russia declares to withdraw from Kherson. Ukrainian officials, however, warn the maneuver could be a trap. And Nepal facing host Bangladesh in its last and decisive match of the SAF Under-15 Women's Championship drew enough for Nepal to clinch the title. Welcome back. You are with NTV English News Bulletin. Now we have the news in details. With just 9 days left for the elections to the House of Representatives and Provincial Assembly, election-related activities have peaked across the country. Party candidates and independent ones are holding rallies and assemblies, meeting voters at their doorsteps in a bid to garner their support to win the elections. Top-rung leaders of the political parties are also addressing the masses at their respective constituencies, renewing their election promises. Meanwhile, ruling coalition is organizing a mass assembly in Kathmandu today afternoon. Prime Minister and Nepali Congress's President Sher Bahadur Dewa, who returned to Kathmandu, wrapping up his week-long election campaign in home district Dadeldhura, is addressing the program. Rashtriya Prajatantra Party is also organizing an election rally in Kathmandu today. Likewise, CPNU-ML chairperson KP Sharma Oli is in his election constituency of Jhapa and holding election programs there. The candidates are allowed to hold their election campaigns till 3 days prior to the polling day. Ballot papers for the upcoming November 20 elections have reached all election constituencies of the country. The Commission had said that it has completed fairing ballot papers to all 165 House of Representatives constituencies and 330 of the provincial assemblies. The Commission had said some 80 million ballot papers are required for upcoming elections. There are different types of ballot papers designated for every House of Representatives and provincial parliament constituencies for the first-past-the-post system, while same type of ballot paper is being used for the proportional representation system of the vote cast. Some 17.9 million voters are able to exercise their franchise at the election this time on November the 20th. The Election Commission, meanwhile, has endorsed 6 points decision that allows political parties and candidates to publish and broadcast advertisements for the purpose of the House of Representatives and Provincial Assembly elections on November the 20th. The spokesperson of Election Commission, Saligram Sarmapore, informed if online media are registered in the Department of Information and Broadcasting and the Press Council of Nepal, the political parties and candidates can advertise through such online media abiding by the Election Code of Conduct 2079. Similarly, the political parties and candidates can broadcast audio-visual content of up to 1 minute through online media. Likewise, the political parties can conduct election campaign through roadblock, content block, homepage, banner, detail page, banner box advertisements. The election propaganda material created in online media should not include abusive language, false information, misinformation, and malicious expression. With this update, time to go for a short break, but still to come we have. Welcome back. You are with NTV English News Bulletin. Now we have the updates from the international front. The Ukrainian army says it has made major gains over the last day around Kherson after Russia said it was withdrawing from the southern city. Ukrainian troops say they had taken back the key town of Snikhorkiva, 50 kilometers to the north of Kherson. Kiev also claimed big pushes on 2 fronts near Kherson, including advances of 7 kilometers in some places. Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen has welcomed leaders to the ASEAN Summit opening ceremony in Phnom Penh on Friday. ASEAN is made up of Cambodia, the Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, Laos, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, Brunei and Myanmar. Myanmar's leaders are not being allowed to participate in the current meetings due to ongoing violence in the country and its lack of effort in implementing the group's peace plan, and Myanmar rejected a proposal to send non-political representatives. Ahead of Friday's opening ceremonies for ASEAN Summit, diplomats are already working on the issue of Myanmar and how to increase pressure on it to follow the peace plan. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said that he would ask Chinese President Xi Jinping to lift billions of dollars in trade barriers if the two leaders hold their first bilateral meeting this month. Albanese was speaking in Sydney before departing Australia on Friday for an East Asia summit in Cambodia, followed by a group of 20 meeting in Indonesia, then an Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum meeting in Thailand. A face-to-face meeting between the Chinese and Australian leaders would mark a major reset in a bilateral relationship that plumbed new depths under the 9-year rule of Australia's previous Conservative government. More updates lined up on the other side, but before that, let's have the highlights first. Welcome back. You are with NTV English News Bulletin. Now to more updates from the international front. The 14th China International Aviation and Aerospace Exhibition, also known as Year-So China, is underway in the port city of Zhuhai, South China's Guangdong province. More than 740 domestic and overseas enterprises from 43 countries and regions participated in the exhibition on-site or online. This year's Year-So, which will last until Sunday, has an indoor exhibition area of around 100,000 square meters, and the number of aircraft for outdoor display exceeds 110. A range of China's homegrown aerial vehicles performed at the opening ceremony. A village in southeast England is beating the British capital with the tallest Christmas tree in the country. The giant redwood is 120 feet high and was fitted with more than 1,800 lights. This is UK's tallest Christmas tree, 120 feet high. It will be lit up in the gardens of Wakehurst, a National Trust property in southeast of England. The tree is a giant redwood known for its sharp leaves and its height. More than 1,800 energy-efficient lights have been installed in it. This tree will be almost double the size of the one put in central London. You're watching NTV English News Bulletin. More updates lined up on the other side, but before that, let's have the highlights first. Now to sports. Nepal is all set to lock hands with host Bangladesh in its last and decisive match under the SAF Under-15 Women's Football Championship. Nepal, that has remained undefeated so far in the tournament, will face Bangladesh at Mustafa Kemal Stadium at 4:30 p.m. A draw against Bangladesh in today's last match of the round-robin league will be enough for Nepal to become the champion. Nepal has scored 9 points from 3 matches, while Bangladesh has 6 points from the equal matches. The first cruise ship to be used as fan accommodation during the World Cup arrived in Doha on Thursday. MSC World Europa, that docked at World Doha Port, will serve as floating hotel with 4,000 cabins for the World Cup tournament. Another cruise ship will arrive on Monday, that is on November 14. It comes a month after a third cruise ship was hired by the World Cup organizers in Qatar to operate as a soccer fan hotel docked in Doha Port to add much needed rooms for the tournament. Well, with this update, we come to the end of this English News Bulletin. But before we say goodbye, let's have a quick reminder of the major stories. Election-related activities take center stage across the country. Ruling coalition holding mass assembly today in Kathmandu. Ballot papers for upcoming elections reach all election constituencies. Different ballot papers to be used for different constituencies. Ukraine claims major gains after Russia declares to withdraw from Kherson. Ukrainian officials, however, warn the maneuver could be a trap. And Nepal facing host Bangladesh in its last and decisive match of the SAF Under-15 Women's Championship. Draw enough for Nepal to clinch the title. That's all we have in this edition of English News Bulletin. We'll see you again with next round of English Bulletin at 6 in the evening. Till then, have a great time ahead and do stay tuned with us for the latest news updates and other programs. Namaste.